Ryan Telfer's feel-good story shouldn't just invoke warm feelings among Toronto FC fans. It shouldn't just elicit flowery stories about the sudden success of a Canadian talent. No, the Mississauga native's emergence at the not-so-young age of 24 should evoke concern. While some will remember Telfer's game-winning heroics last Friday night in a massive 2-1 win over visiting Orlando City as one of the great performances by a TFC rookie, I'll remember it as a defining moment for the newly formed Canadian Premier League. Parsons' piece in Tuesday's Sun. It took an unprecedented injury crisis for Telfer to get his chance in Major League Soccer. Most of us still wouldn't know Telfer's name if Toronto FC hadn't sacrificed everything during a deep, and extraordinarily costly, run in CONCACAF Champions League. He'd still be with TFC too, grinding with a minor league squad full of immature teammates while trying to make the leap following years of toiling in Ontario's League One and OUA. Put it this way, Telfer was wrapping his second season with the York University Lions a few years back while TFC closed in on its first MLS Cup appearance. Nobody knew him. All Canadian kids have our opportunities to fail. York coach Carmen Isika told The Sun this week after watching his former player shine on national TV. There's a bunch of Ryan Telfers out there that are missed all the time. Toronto FC, at Toronto FIC. May 19, 2018 Former Canadian national team coach Stephen Hart sounded the alarm last month when he estimated 95% or more of young Canadian internationals disappear from the game by the time they reached 20 years old. Guys like Telfer and Jonathan Osorio and Jay Chapman only make it, Isiko said. After years of being told they're not good enough, these are the real stories of the real Canadians, Isiko added, passionately. Other than TFC fullback Ashton Morgan, who also had to struggle, the other kids, even Jordan Hamilton, have gone through all kinds of trials and tribulations and failures. Isiko reminded The Sun his York University pipeline also includes Mark Anthony Kaye, a 23-year-old midfielder who's turning heads with MLS expansion side Los Angeles FC after leaving the TFC academy. They're players who, just a few years ago, were perceived to be not good enough to sign entry-level contracts with MLS clubs that would rather take a chance on young foreigners. The Canadian pathway is not the easiest thing in the world, Isiko explained. Canadians don't have the luxury of being drafted in MLS and getting an opportunity. Would ex-TFC homegrown players like Nana Adekora and Matt Stinson have fared better in a different setting? Would they have been given a real chance in a USL environment or Canadian Premier League? Might they have been late bloomers like Telfer? It's not the kids' fault. It's our infrastructure that lets us down, Isiko offered. Toronto FC is a fantastic structure. Their academy is a fantastic outlet. But they only touch maybe 20% of the Greater Toronto area. This is a soccer hotbed. There's a bunch of Osorios and Telfers out there. We just have to provide the proper infrastructure. A big part of the Canadian Premier League's mandate will be to cultivate young Canadian talent and, perhaps, to rehabilitate late bloomers who might have been passed over. The league will look to provide a pathway for the high percentage of dropouts Hart referred to. The corporal has to be the corporal, Isiko reiterated to the Toronto Sun. It has to be about the best Canadians and a handful of the best internationals to make those Canadians better. It has to be for the players Toronto FC, the Montreal Impact or Vancouver Whitecaps won't or can't or decide not to give a chance to. For now, though, Telfer serves as a reminder there's Canadian talent beyond what we see every weekend at the MLS level. There are players out there who just need an opportunity. I talked to the kid, Isiko offered. I said, Ryan, you're just thinking too much. Go out there and be you. Play. Get involved. I don't care if you're playing wide left or left fullback. Get involved. When that kid is involved in a game, he's going to make his mark on that game because of the things we've talked about. Telfer's athleticism is unmatched in Toronto FC's attack. His first 2 and 3 steps take him past most defenders in the league. His ability to cut inside or outside makes him a nightmare to defend along the edge of the penalty area. The scary thing is that he's not yet polished. Will better tactical awareness be important for him? Probably, Isiko said of a player he groomed at York. But that's not who he is. Ryan Telfer needs to be Ryan Telfer. On Friday night, Ryan Telfer was Ryan Telfer.